Welcome to the Why Not Shop, brought to you by me. So, we're making a fireplace remodel, and I'm actually glad that this is sped up because watching me fight these things was probably pretty entertaining in real time. These big sheets of half-inch MDF is what I'm using. And what I'm doing is I'm making a skeleton structure for what I'm going for here. So the dimensions that you'll see in this video are not final dimensions. Everything made out of MDF is actually going to get wrapped in black walnut because that's what my wife wants. So happy wife, happy life. So I'm ripping this MDF right now into sections because MDF in black walnut in a big giant square with lights and wires and everything is really heavy. So this light feature is going to be put in sections, 5 sections. So now I'm getting my back pieces cut to actual size. So that's pretty cool. It's amazing how fast I work in time lapse. I wish I could do this in real life. I'd be a bajillionaire. So now I'm ripping the ribs that are going to be in this light feature. And think of this piece as like a big giant piece of corduroy. And I'm going to light up the valleys in the corduroy. So I'm going to have light coming from the bottom and light coming from the top that will shine down the valleys of what I'm going to make. So I know this isn't making much sense right now, but maybe I'll attach a thumbnail of my demo so you can come into this video not completely lost. Yeah, it's all about editing, which I suck at, so cut me some slack. Or don't, and comment about it. That would be cool too. I like comments. It gives me something to do while I'm pooping. So I had to cut 40 of these strips. Put 2 strips together and you've got a strip that's 1 inch wide. Add 1/4 inch of veneer on either side and you've got it 1.5 inches wide. And that's what I'm going for. So 1.5 inch gap, 1.5 inch valley, 1.5 inch gap, 1.5 inch peak. I'm saying valley and gap like they're different, but they're kind of the same thing. So that's what you get with one take voiceover editing on YouTube videos. I'll do better one day. Right now I'm busy making stuff. So MDF, I experimented a couple of different ways. I tried getting it together with just with just nails. But I found that some CA glue or super glue and some accelerator really holds strong. Couple that with some tack nails, trim nails to hold everything together. And you're in business, man. So I've basically made myself 1.5 inch by 1 inch MDF sticks. Straight sticks. What's cool about MDF, super glue, is you can get everything exactly where you want it, line it up square, and then I've got a perfectly square structure that I can put black walnut to later, which isn't manufactured square and can wiggle and wriggle on you. So I think I'm doing the wise thing here rather than trying to make this out of solid black walnut. And I'm probably saving some money too. So here I am putting these strips together, and I did do some forethought, and I'm actually going to give you some non-time-lapse stuff eventually if I remember to put it in. I think I remembered to put it in. I see it coming up. So, if you're getting seasick and watching me fly around, check it out. This is what I do. 2 very thin lines of CA glue. I'm going to hit the other board with the accelerator. Now, when you put CA glue and accelerator together, the super glue cures instantly. So you see the gap I got there, and you gotta pop it together real quick. Make sure everything's square, because if you are off, you are off. That's just the end of it. I'm gonna come back with some tacks. Blam, blam, blam. Check it out. One stick down, 39 to go. Even gave you another angle. You like that, guys? CA glue, accelerator, pop them together. And I'm using this board underneath the two boards I'm gluing together as another way to keep everything square and straight. Because this project is going to depend on square and straight. I edited out all the times I misfired. Here we go. Me doing what I just showed you faster. Is it square? Of course it's square. It's nice. So like I said, there's 5 sections, 40 ribs, 40 valleys. Here I am lining everything up, getting all these ribs done. And then we're going to move along to building the actual sections. And that's what I cut in the first section of the video. I'm actually wishing I would have edited a little more of this out, but too late. So this only goes on for a little bit longer. Here we go. Cleaning up, getting ready to go. Hello, wife. Now we're going to start building the panels. So on the first board, I'm going to use CA glue again, but I don't want to use the accelerator on that first piece, because if I set it down incorrectly, then I'm in trouble because it's stuck. So on the first board of each panel, I do CA glue by itself. Then I use some clamps, gives me a little more working time. I mean, I don't have all day with super glue, but you got 20-30 seconds as opposed to you're done. So I put clamps on that first one. Now the strip I'm laying down is a 2-inch wide strip, and that allows me to super glue all the pieces quickly, efficiently, straight and correct. Bam, bam, bam. Then I'll pull that strip out, move it to the next slot, rinse, lather, and repeat. Bam. This actually went really, really well. I thought that I was going to have a lot of issues to deal with, but once I got going, man, I knocked out all 5 panels in an afternoon, so it worked really nice. Okay, so you can see I left that open end. That's because the pieces butt up to each other, so if I had to put another one down, it would have been closed up, and then I would have a 3-inch gap rather than a 1.5 inches that I'm looking for. So each panel has an open end, and then they'll puzzle piece together. So what I'm doing right now is I'm marking. I've glued all those pieces, and I flipped the board over. Super glue is strong, but adding some nails helps. So I'm marking where all the boards were, and that gives me a reference to come back with my trim nails. And if I lay these lines out correctly, then I won't have any nails popping through. And spoiler alert, not one nail popping through where it shouldn't have been. So everything turned out good. Pretty happy with it. So I'm going to get out the nailer now and do some speed nailing. So I put about 10 or 15 nails in each one of these 40 ribs. So I went through, half a box of nails. Well, not a half a box of nails, there's 2,500 in a box. So maybe 500 nails, something like that today. They'll set off a metal detector, these panels. Moving on to panel number 2. Again, that first rib goes down without accelerator, unless you're just super awesome at laying pieces down square, which I'm not, so. Come back and then hit it with accelerator. There we go, guys. It's kind of funny to me. I used the last YouTube video I did, I built a speaker box and we literally worked on it for, it had to have been 6 or 7 hours. And it was just a box. And here I built this giant wall panel and it only took, an afternoon. Once you get going on this, it looks very complicated, but once you have your system figured out, anybody can do this. It's pretty basic, square, straight cuts, pencil lines, and yeah, you're good to go. I think this is the last full run through, and then the last 3 panels are just some quick, hey, 3, 4, 5, done. Yay, look how awesome he is. This is the last one. Some speed nailing. Oh, look, I messed up. Yep. Couple of times. I actually figured out that my gun was set to triple shot, which I don't know why anybody would want to shoot 3 nails at a time. There's me cooling off. Yeah, here's the 4th panel. Looks good. Building them up there behind me in case you haven't noticed. So you see where the valleys are at, the dark spots. That's where I'll install lights, at the top and the bottom. So this thing will look pretty awesome with the lights going. Don't know what I was doing with the camera there. Playing with some zoom settings. I don't have any followers anyway, guys. It's okay. There's the finished ones. Finished wall panels. And then I made homemade spaghetti from scratch. Yep. Thanks for watching.